Hey guys, it's JP and Javi back with Comic Book Corner's Rapid Reactions. We're here reacting to the third and final trailer of the Avengers Age of Ultron. What do you think of the trailer, JP?
It was pretty exciting. I think not Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. teased last week that we're going to get a big announcement on Thursday. We actually got a day earlier.
Got it on Wednesday. There was like this little Twitter movement, like I forgot what the hashtag was.
Avengers Assemble.
Avengers Assemble hashtag, and they said if you tweet this and you get it trending, then you get to have the trailer, and they did it in like less than 10 minutes, which is pretty.
Actually, well, I think it came out like 8 in the morning, so I think it came out around 12:30, so about a 4-hour span. So I know a lot of people were actually pushing to get this trailer out as soon as possible. One of the things I noticed from the opening sequence is there's like it's like this valley of mountains, and you see this castle, which might be.
It's Baron von Strucker's castle. He came out at the post-credit scene of Captain America,
the Winter Soldier. Which it could be a town where maybe Pietro and Natasha, not Natasha, but Wanda are from, because they're from Eastern Europe. Europe. One cool thing is we actually see Ultron on the throne, very reminiscent of the comic book days. And same thing, he's wearing a cloak, which is also a nod to his Crimson Cowl days. So I think I like that a lot.
You watch this trailer and you can just tell that this movie is like more global.
Oh yeah.
It's like not just New York like it was first Avengers. It was like I think they filmed in South Korea.
South Korea, they filmed in Europe, South Africa, plus of course the US. I think they filmed in 5 continents, if I'm correct. So
I think they're going to do the same with the Civil War also.
It's going to be interesting. Like the Avengers are expanding globally, which is really interesting. They're taking battles to different locations, which the opening sequence of the film is kind of like this kind of James Bond-esque. They're fighting Baron Ben Strucker's troops in this snowy forest, which is we see a really cool iconic shot. The composition's
everybody's calling it that money shot where the Avengers. It was kind of like the shot in the first movie where they do the wrap around,
the 360 shot.
The 360 shot where they're all like first time where they're all like fighting beside each other. And this one is kind of like you see Cap on his motorcycle. You see everybody like doing their thing. Like Black Widow's there with her.
My favorite was the Hawkeye's pose. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
He's there with the. Yeah.
And Jeremy Renner's talked about that he's going to have a larger role in this film, and I can't wait to see it, because he's one of my favorite characters. He has this very kind of sarcastic, dry wit, and I hope we get to see more of him in action. What are some other things you liked that stood out to you?
I wanted to get to this later, but I wanted, like, Vision. Like, we got our first glimpse of Vision.
And I missed it the first time. I think in the last couple of frames, you stay past the title card, you actually get to see the Vision for the first time.
Like Marvel's, now they're doing post-credits trailer scenes now. How awesome is that?
One thing that stood out, I like the subtlety of the eyes. Like it's like an iris, like which is it has. If you guys know, the Vision was created by Ultron in the comics. Yeah. There's kind of this contradicting stories coming from Joss Whedon where he kind of says that Ultron creates him, but I think Mark Ruffalo he said that the Vision is his baby. So it's kind of interesting that comments.
That's pretty interesting because, like, in the comics, but I do think that it was maybe Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner and Tony Stark that made Vision in a way, because you see them working closely together in that trailer. So I think like maybe Ultron was kind of the accident, kind of in a way, like that's not what they meant, and Vision was what they thought. Vision was the vision that they were going for, I guess, in a way. That I thought they were going for.
What we see in this trailer is that he's creating this program, the Ultron program. It's kind of like a world peace thing where he's sending out his own, I guess, the Aryan Legion, as they call it in the interviews, where he's sending out his own robots to patrol the Earth, so the Avengers won't have to do it. Yeah. Ultimately, that goes wrong for the Avengers.
He says something to Cap, like, isn't the reason why we're doing this, I don't remember exactly what he said, the reason why we're doing this is so that we don't have to fight anymore, or something like that.
And it's that real quick scene, which I think they had an extending clip at the Phase 3 reveal back in November. Yeah. It's kind of
where they're chopping wood, and then Cap just like gets a log and tears it in half.
Yeah, it's planted the seeds for Civil War, where you see there's 2 different ideologies between Steve and Tony, which is going to set up the storyline for Civil War, which is really interesting. Another thing that really stood out to me, we got to see the power set from Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver for the first time.
Like, that was one of my favorite scenes, was seeing Quicksilver punch Cap in the face.
That was a really nice uppercut.
Really cool. Yeah.
And I love the slow. I mean, if you're going to do something like this, which they did in X-Men Days of Future Past, you have to slow down the world around that character. Like Quicksilver, he's too fast for anyone to keep up with, and we get to see him sucker punch or an uppercut towards Captain America. And you see the split come up in slow motion, which is pretty cool. But what about Scarlet Witch's powers?
She's more of like a mind type thing. Like, she's like kind of a witch. This is the easiest way to put it. Scarlet Witch is in her name. And I know you had this theory where you're telling me like maybe like Captain America's shield isn't actually broken. Maybe it's like kind of a mind trick that the Scarlet Witch has.
Yeah, because we see it. I think I think we can come to realize that she's kind of put a mind spell on the Hulk, so that's the reason why they're fighting. Same thing with, we see a quick shot of her put on a spell on Black Widow, which might take her to her past memories. We see in the second trailer she's on this gurney, and maybe like in Russia we see the ballerina, so that might have to.
And they've said, Joss Whedon said that like we're gonna find out more about Natasha Romanoff, so that would make a lot of sense.
We see a quick shot also of Thor chokeholding Tony. That might be because he's pissed off they created Ultron.
Yeah.
Because I think he's wearing the same clothing from the party scene that we saw in one of the second trailer. I think
Ultron in the comics is made of adamantium, which they can't say he's made of in this movie. So I'm gonna go and I think maybe he's made of vibranium. Which
yeah,
make a lot of sense,
it's the most logical thing since they even introduced Claw, Ulysses Claw in this first and second trailers, who's the main antagonist of the Black Panther,
played by Andy Serkis. Yeah.
One thing I noticed from the beginning of the trailer towards the end, we see the evolution of Ultron, his distinct armor from being built from scraps of different Iron Man armors. I think towards the end we get, I guess, the definitive look of Ultron while he's flying, and he has this really cool power so he can shoot, I guess, beams out of his hands. But I want to talk about that. I guess that bird's eye view 360 shot. I think they're trying to protect something, which could be interesting. What do you think it is?
It has to be an Infinity Stone, right?
Because it looks like it looks like this thing, the thing that was holding the Tesseract in Avengers. It could be something where they're gonna try to open a portal and take the battle to somewhere else. I think that's my theory. Yeah.
Yeah, the Tesseract's been huge in the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far. Like, it's the space gem, and then we have I'm assuming the Loki scepter has the mind gem, and like there's another theory that maybe, and the orb from Guardians of the Galaxy is the power gem. So now there's this theory that I'm actually kind of buying into, that maybe you know how Vision has this gem on the top of on the center of his head.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the soul gem.
Could be. I mean, there's been a lot of videos online. They speculate about that. I think in the comic it's the solar.
It's a solar. It's kind of like how he gets his power. Like
he kind of recharges his battery. It'll be interesting to give this synthesoid being, I guess, sort of a soul himself, and that'll be an interesting theory that might play out. Might actually bring Thanos to Earth to retrieve that stone. One thing that really stood out is the developing relationship between Bruce and Natasha.
Yeah, you see like this shot where they're like kind of intimate in a way, and like you see kind of saw seeds of it in the first Avengers where Natasha's trying to talk him out of the Hulk, where he hulks up in the Tricarrier.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more interesting aspects. It's not really part of the canon. I mean, his relationship is usually with Betty Ross.
Yeah,
I think it's something really cool they can explore down the line.
And so it's kind of maybe like there's like a triangle with him and Clint.
Because
Hawkeye.
in Avengers they kind of mentioned they had a prior relationship.
Yeah, and then like you see Black Widow, Natasha wearing like this necklace with an arrow on it
and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, so
even there's like a little relationship going on. I think it's more of a friendly relationship between her and Steve, but it's really interesting what's going to play out in the next couple of films. Guys, let us know in the comments below if there's any moment we missed that you guys wanted to talk about. What was your favorite moment? What do you want to see in the film when it comes out? Make sure to click like and subscribe for more movie news here on Comic Book Corner Rapid Reactions. I'm JP Hernandez.
I'm Javi. Thanks for watching.